Isotropy of space. It means that the properties of the system remains the same in all directions. Here the property that we will be dealing with potential energy. The potential energy of the system is same in all directions. So on the basis of this, we will try to derive law of conservation of angular momentum. So consider a coordinate system. X, Y axis, Z axis. This is the origin. And let it is rotated through an angle d theta. It is rotated through an angle d theta, and this is our new axis x dash in anti-clockwise sense, and rotation is with respect to z axis. The rotation is with respect to z axis. This is y dash and this is d theta rotation. So our original coordinate system xyz, when it is rotated about z axis through an angle d theta, we get new frame of reference. This is S frame of reference, and after rotation we get S dash frame of reference. So we assume we have two particles M1 having coordinates x1, y1 in S frame of reference. So it means if we draw a perpendicular like this, then this will be x1, this will be y1, and in S dash frame the same particle will be having x1 dash, y1 dash coordinates, and those coordinates will be like obtained by drawing a perpendicular on x dash axis. So this will be x1 dash and this will be y1 dash along y dash axis. Similarly, we have another particle M2 having coordinates x2, y2 in S frame of reference. So this is x2, this is y2, and it will be having x2 dash, y2 dash coordinates in S dash frame of reference. So that can be obtained by drawing a perpendicular here. So it will be x2 dash this will be y2 dash so now we are to correlate these coordinates of the particles having masses m1 and m2 between the two frames of references S dash and S. So for this we write x1 dash. x1 dash, it is component of x1 along OX dash plus component of y1 along OX dash, because this is the value of the component of the position of mass m1 along OX dash axis. So it can be obtained by taking the components of x1 and y1 along OX dash. So x1 makes an angle d theta with OX dash. So it is x1 cos d theta. Now y1 makes an angle of 90 minus theta. So it will be y1 cos 90 minus d theta with x dash axis. Y1 makes angle of 90 minus d theta with OX dash axis. So for small angles, firstly we write sine of 90 cos 90 minus theta is sine theta. So it is sine d theta. So for small angles, this is simple mathematics. We have also used many times before. Cos d theta for small angles it is 1. Sine d theta it is d theta. So x1 dash it will be x1 plus y1 d theta. So we mark this as equation number 1. On the similar lines, x2 dash it is x2 plus y2 d theta for mass m2. So similarly we can write for second. So this is about x1 dash component and x2 dash component. Now we come to y1 dash component. So it is y1 dash is along OY dash axis. This red line it is parallel to this yellow OY dash axis. So as it is along OY dash axis, so it is component of x1 along OY dash axis plus component of y1 along OY dash axis. So now what are the angles? x1 cos. What is the angle of x1 with OY dash axis? So it is this angle. It is 90 plus d theta. So it is 90 plus d theta plus y1 cos. It is component of y1 along OY dash axis, y1. This is y1, it is parallel to this green and this angle, d theta. So y1 dash is x1 cos 90 plus d theta is minus sine d theta. Y1 cos d theta. So y1 dash is minus x1 sine d theta. Y1 cos d theta. So for small angles, again y1 dash minus x1 sine d theta is d theta, cos d theta is 1. Similarly, y2 dash it will be x2 d theta plus y2. So here we have 4 equations. So this is equation number 3, this is equation number 4, and these equations we will be using to study the isotropy property and to derive the law of conservation of linear momenta. So we have correlated the x coordinates and y coordinates in S dash frame and S frame respectively. U x1, x2, y1, y2 is the potential energy of the system in frame of reference S, and u, x1 dash, x2 dash, y1 dash, y2 dash is the potential energy of the system in frame of reference S dash according to isotropy of the system. The potential energy in both the frames x1 dash, x2 dash, y1 dash, y2 dash, x1, x2, y1, y2 both are same. So now we substitute the values. x1 is x1 plus y1 d theta, x2 plus y2 d theta. We have proved this here. y1 dash, y2 dash, we have proved it here, minus x1 d theta, y1 minus x1 d theta, y2 minus x2 d theta, it is equal to u x1 x2 y1 y2. So applying the Taylor theorem, it will be u x1 x2 y1 y2 plus y1 d theta curly u by curly x1 y2 d theta curly u by curly x2 minus x1 d theta curly u by curly y1 minus x2 d theta curly u by curly y2, it is equal to u x1 x2 y1 y2. So this cancels. So what we are left with, d theta common, y1 curly u by curly x1 y2 curly u by curly x2 x1 curly u by curly y1 x2 curly u by curly y2, it is 0. So we can write it like this, y1 curly u by curly x1 x1 curly u by curly y1 plus y2 curly u by curly x2 x2 curly u by curly y2, it is equal to 0, and we mark this as equation number 5. As we know that f is equal to curly u upon curly r, so using this curly u upon curly x1, it will be minus f1 to x, because it is derivative with respect to x, so it will be the x component of force. So it is x component of force on mass m1 by mass m2, curly u upon curly x2, so it is minus f21 x component, it is x component of force on mass m2 by mass m1. Similarly, curly u upon curly y1, it is f12 y, it is y component of force on mass m1 by mass m2 curly u upon curly y2, it is minus f21 y, it is y component of force on mass m2 by mass m1. So using all these formulations in equation number 5, we get y1 into f12 x component plus y2 minus f21 x component minus x1 f12 y component minus x2 f21 y component equal to 0. So it is this minus minus plus this term, so x1 f12 y component minus y1 f12 x component, this minus minus plus x2 f21 y component, y2 f21 x component, which is equal to 0. So if we look at this, it is x fy minus y fx, so it is z component of torque. So using this, what we will get, it is tau 12 z component of torque plus tau 21 z component. So it is tau 12 z component minus tau 21 z component. So it is Newton's third law of our rotational motion. Torque acting on one body by the second body is equal to and opposite to torque acting on second body by the first body. So it is Newton's third law for rotational motion. So as we know that torque, it is equal to dl by dt. So tau 12 z component, it will be d by dt of L1z, because it is acting on first body, so it will change the angular momentum of the first body. So it is dL2 z component divided by dt. So using this formulation in equation number 6, so dL1 z component by dt equal to minus dL2 z component by dt. So it is d by dt of L1z plus L2z equal to 0. So L1z plus L2z, it is constant. So it is nothing but law of conservation of angular momentum. So dear students, we have proved the law of conservation of angular momentum starting from the concept of isotropy of space. So this is all for today. Keep in touch for next lectures. Thanks a lot.